And then I have like these interstitial things about flights where I've sat next to celebrities, but it's all black celebrities. Chris Tucker, Bruce, Serena Williams.
We talk about Chris Tucker on here a lot too.
You do?
We love Tucker.
Money Talks, Friday, Rush Hour.
Dude, my Chris Tucker story is it is one of my favorite ones because I am sitting next to him and I don't say anything to him.
Chris Tucker.
He's right next to me, right? And I had seen him at the gate and I didn't say anything there.
Wow.
And we're just sitting there like, and as the plane is taking off and we're both facing forward, I just hear him in his very distinct voice. He goes, "Should I do another Rush Hour?"
To himself?
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, he's definitely talking to I saw him talking to the guy who's behind me now at the gate. Yeah. So I'm like, he must be talking to that guy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and then I just turn and he's just looking at me. And I'm like, you're asking me, dude? So I go, I don't know, man. Like, this is like verbatim. I go,
what?
I don't know. He goes, yeah. He goes, I was in Beijing last week. He goes, I'm walking through the streets. I see Jackie Chan. And he goes, what are you doing here? I go, I'm here to see you. And I go, sounds like the next Rush Hour to me. And he goes, I think you're right. And then I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, I'm going to. He starts like writing back. I go, you just consulted with me on how to do this or whether to do this?
Was he aware of you being a comedian and all that?
I tell him next. I go, yeah. I go, I did this show. Because we were actually on an amphitheater show the night before, but never met. He closed out the first half. It was 20,000 people.
Wow!
And I arrived.
Oddball or something? What was
it? Was like a big. It was like a one-off thing.
Okay.
But it was like Chappelle, and I never met him. I didn't even see him. They just were like, Chris Tucker was here, but I didn't since I didn't meet him, I didn't start by. I just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
And then I go, yeah, I was on that show last night. He goes, what? And I'm like, yeah, man. I go, I did the second half, and I go, I did like way later, and I heard you did great, that kind of thing. And then he's like, yeah. He goes, yeah, I got this thing on Netflix. And I go, yeah, I have things on Netflix. He goes, for real? And I go, yeah. And I go, so now you're done. I go, so you're going to see your ticket sales are going to go up and, you just got to go work out that new hour. And he's like, where? And I go, in clubs. He goes, what kind of clubs? I'm like, comedy clubs.
Wasn't he a comedian?
Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, which ones? I go, I start
You're explaining comedy to Chris Tucker?
I'm like telling him the clubs.
Amazing.
And then he goes, will you send me that list? I go, of the nation's comedy clubs?
I see him at clubs sometimes. I see his poster up now.
Yeah.
Really?
I was just at the Charlotte Comedy Zone, and then Chris Tucker's face.
He's like,
wow.
He gave me his phone number.
Wow.
He's like, so I text him. I'm like, you need to go to here, here, and here. He's like, all right, thanks, man. Like,
has he done your mom's house?
No.
You got to get him on, dude.
I know.
Well,
that would be amazing.
the worst part is you ate a star and none of that happened.
Yeah. It was the best, dude.
Wow,
dude,
that's incredible.
He is one of the funniest people.
Naturally.
Funny.
Dude,
gifted.
He would be falling in Rush Hour, and the noise he would yell out would be like comic perfection. He's so great.
Yeah, he
I love
Friday.
the bloopers at the end where he's like, Jackie, and they're like, his name is not Jackie in the movie. He's like over and over.
When he's on the phone, who the hell you think you kidnapped? Kelsey Grammer? It's like, it's Chelsea Clinton.
That's great.
Just like yelling at him.
Yeah, he's the best, dude.
No, dude,
funny.
we're huge fans. I mean, he's
Fifth Element, he's great.
If someone wants to tag Chris Tucker, we'd kill to have you on. We might be drunk.
Please.
We love you. We'll get you drunk.